Hello and welcome back to the ESL ESEA Pro League. I am going to boss that tonight.
You've nailed that.
Thank you very much. I'm
proud
Alex
of you.
Machine Richardson and I am joined by Lauren Pansy Scott for Game 2 of our two-game evening. We're going to be bringing you Dignitas mousesports for this one. And it's going to be played on DE Inferno, of course, best of one format for those of you that have just joined us. And this is kind of a bit of an interesting story for both sides. Let's start with mousesports and talk a little bit about them.
Yeah, a lot of roster changes coming in, making it a vastly more German roster. I think there were factors in there coming into it, how they get the slot that was assigned to Penta when you have the vast majority of players in a lineup. So then picking up 3 will then give them Penta slot. It's assigned to the players rather than the organization itself. So when the vast majority moves, the slot it follows the slot. So now that'll be taken in towards mousesports with God B and Chris J remaining. So it's a pretty good lineup. Yet to see in its full format. God B, I believe, now can actually call in German as well, which he wanted to do. Okay. So that might be another factor to it, that they have a more German-based lineup, even though Chris J, I think, speaks both.
Chris J's been around for forever. He probably speaks.
True.
Yeah, he probably speaks every language in the world.
But yeah, nice lineup to see come into form eventually. However, we're yet to really see that form because it was just like so last minute.
Yeah, and on the other side, of course, Dignitas, you did just see them go head-to-head with Fnatic. Didn't quite go in their favour, though, as we're going to be jumping into our 9th round for this one.
And while on the note of Fnatic, I just want to point out as well, I was saying how good Pronax was in that in-game leading. Turns out it was Flusher in-game leading in that previous game. So that's something that's just great to keep in mind while the knife goes on. It looks like Mouse are going to pick that one up, and they do. So mousesports pick up the knife, and even next takes down Spitty for the crack of it. But yeah, I think it's a point to be raised just to highlight then if Flusher is in-game leading on occasion, that's like a whole new dynamic, whole new level. I'm going to watch that back and just see the differences because that was pretty damn cool.
Yeah, regardless. We were constantly, like, we were hammering on it like, wow, Pronax is really kind of in the heads of Dignitas. Turns out just
it's
Flusher had a go.
You know, the guy's already like a beastly player. Add in that element, that's mind-blowing. But regardless, now we have to look at Dignitas up against Mouse. Dig had to just suffer a very poignant loss, let's say. And let's see what they can bring against mousesports. As we are live into the pistol lane, it looks like it's all going towards B. Yeah,
and all going towards Spitty as he is full on white. Finally, as his vision returns, he realizes there's 5 Ts charging towards him. It's actually going to be him to draw first blood as another brain gets splattered. They are picking them apart. That's 3. And Dignitas start crumbling. Pimp's the one to fall down. And it is 3 frags for Spitty, 2 for Dennis. 2 of the new additions start with a bang. I'm going to be picking up an easy early pistol round for them.
Yeah, exactly what mousesports will need as well. Just dealing with what's being thrown at them. And this is what I was curious to see. Are we going to see that weird buy they go for?
They do like it, don't they?
They do, because we saw like Novas coming out before and these crazy kind of second round buys. Almost like, okay, we're probably going to lose it. You know, we know what the Tech 9s are like. But they do have the M4 at least with Dennis. So it's like kind of change up there. So something a little bit different.
So I assume he's taking the auto shotty apps. Yeah, well, he's going to go through Boiler. He's going to be holding on through there. And I think he's just positioning himself to hear the footsteps. He's certainly caught an earful of some. As there are going to be
he's actually in the right place.
This could go horribly wrong for Kiebu. There's the auto shot, the 8 HP remaining, but the nades can be released as well. It could catch him. It doesn't. But mousesports now going into defensive maneuvers as they realize the T-side's making a way straight on towards A.
Yeah, Nico, AZ, and Pim starting to break through, and even Nico claiming the shotgun for his own. And Spitty and Dennis, the last 2 remaining, and they were defending B. So bombs down. And now let's see what the T-side can do to hold this.
They have full armor. Now they've got weapons as well. AZ picks up one onto Spitty with the MP7. There is just now Dennis who remains for the mousesports side. And you said with their buy that they were almost anticipating a loss. Certainly not Dennis. No, it was Spitty who opted for the M4 straight off the bat. And that's going to be, he's going to be reluctant to let that one slip away. You can see he's going to be clutching that, hoping for it. And look at that. Pimp just walks into his crosshair as he's going to go down. It's going to be a second as well. Dennis, smart play from him. Concise finish to the round. He's just going to be trying to make it costly for the Dignitas side. But let's be honest, that was a really strong second round from Dignitas. Everything went to plan. The bomb went down. The round went their way. And they took all of those weapons out of mousesports' hands.
Exactly that. Now, mousesports, what are you going to do? You got 1 in 4 with Dennis. Does he keep it? Oh, we're seeing the scout.
Okay.
We've got B. Not Chris J. There we go. Ooh, no, there we go.
Surely,
What's going on?
It's going to Next.
Wait, Next is going to use the scout over Chris J. Now that's something my mind will never get used to. Chris J, just renowned for that scout work.
100%.
but opting for head armor, so it's a weird investment. So actually investing into doing damage here, and maybe able to keep themselves alive. And look at Dennis straight down towards Banana, maybe not expecting the pressure as MSL just bullies his way through, and that's B under control. Smoke goes down towards CT, the site's theirs. Chris J next and God B might even just want to save this. They've got head armor, they've got pistols, and there's even that scout now with Chris J.
Oh, that hurt to watch. Seeing the M4 just evaporate as soon as they felt like they just got it. They had trying. I understand why they're trying to take early control of Banana, but didn't quite go to plan. And Dignitas getting a full 5-stack built set up on that B site.
Going hunting.
Actually say 5. You're right. It is just going to be 4. As there is that one-man pimp on the hunt, on the prowl for CT or 2. Wants to take that armor away from them, try and ruin the investment that they have made into this round, and I don't think it's going to quite come through.
Look how cautious he was then as well. It's like they could have like a random shotgun.
He has no idea.
The 5.7's pretty powerful. Exactly. Like he was pretty cautious then. He's not going to go any further. He's happy there. Everyone gets to keep what they had. So Nico might switch up. He might still stick with that. Like they know that the CTs aren't going to be great for money, so Nico could just stick with that SMG just a little bit longer. Yeah, there's 3 players with armor, but they were the A players, so I'm wondering if Nico's just going to go B again, be like, all right, Spiddy and Dennis probably don't have anything, unless they switch up where Chris J plays, and they are, so they're going to put him on B, and they're kind of going, all right, let's kind of bolster our numbers at B where we've been losing out. But now did Dig switch things up?
That's kind of going to be the main question. It looks to me that they are. They are going to be, again, sending some people to Banana, a lot less than they have in the past, though, as this one's going to start with a bang. Next, using the 5.7 to great skill. I was going to say he's going to pick up a second. Didn't quite. Took a big chunk out of Kierbu, though, as he has just 8 HP remaining, as it is going to be a 4v4. A level playing field to an extent. Chris J's health is a bit worse for wear as well, as that bomb is loose. In the T side, they're just going to be hunting for picks. And then look at Dennis's angle as well. You saw it just there on your screens. He was just holding steady on B, as Dignitas are starting to put something together over on the A side of the map.
The danger is that Nico can still just like lurk his way in towards B as well. He's got that SMG. There's no armor on that site, so he will literally rip through them. Godby's in a good spot though. He's kind of in that like maniac spot, sitting on that balcony, waiting for them to push through. And with that vertical advantage, you can literally just dome people. Not going to happen though. AZ checks that. Spiddy now comes into the action, not going to get a thing done. And the bomb now being kind of chased up by Nico. And these two, well, what are you going to do?
Ghostbusters. Probably going to be sitting around waiting for the hunt to begin. I'm sure Dignitas are going to want to do that. I feel like they're feeling pretty good about themselves right now, but no, they are just going to release Kierbu with his 8 HP to get as far away from that bomb as he can. And we are going to be seeing another round on the board for Dignitas, and that's going to be immediately, well, the way I see it, Dignitas being able to pick apart the mousesports side pre-buy. I mean, this next round is going to be really an important one for the German side. I keep saying German side. There is, of course, God B present and Chris J, who is Dutch, I believe. Either way, we are going to be seeing this one come to a close, and you'll have to forgive me, because I am definitely going to see that German flag and call them a German side.
I think we can round up to it. You know, Chris J's basically assimilated himself.
Yeah, pretty much.
Into it. He lives here at the studios, I'm pretty sure, half the time, whenever it's like an EPS or a Meisterschaft. What a fantastic name that is. But still, 3-1, Team Dignitas are leading. They're back on the rifles now. They're feeling good. And mousesports, money-wise, are in such a bad predicament because they keep like saving every now and then. You know, it's so like so much disparity. And well, I think that's the deep banana smoke coming out from God B then. But I think it's too little, too late. And look, it's coming to play. But Dennis, just about on the other side of it. Actually, they did slow down for this, so that could actually work. Spiddy and Dennis are now just on the precipice of pushing in here, and Dennis in a great position. Flash comes out. He's body blocking them. Brilliant position, but it doesn't matter. They still get the shots. Nico and AZ do the damage. Godby and Chris J on the rotate, and it's a split. The T-side have so many numbers, they can just go where they want to now.
Yeah, it's going to be just 3 CTs remain. Only one who's in a primary position, and it is going to be Godby. You already mentioned his positioning around that coil area, and now Nico is going to be on his way. AZ's there to back him up, though. He's through the smoke. He's going to get caught. They're just tickling his toes with bullets. Not going to take him down, though. That's now. Nex is still lurking around. He realizes that he might want to be starting to rotate. The bomb surely going to be spotted by Godby any second now.
Not with that smoke in place. He's now going to just push. Ooh, he's
there
in the smoke.
Go.
He's not pushed through, but he's certainly heard the bomb going down. Now, I don't know what they can achieve here. It's going to be hard to get even guns away, but surely they're going to commit. Chris J does have head armor, so he might just wait it out. But the rest have nothing really to lose. Ooh. And there we go. Already Nex losing out, and it's just God B now. He might just push in for the crack of it, see what he can achieve, but Wait for that smoke to dissipate. Does actually take down AZ. But the time's so fast against him. Christian does have a kit, but there's nothing else can be offered up.
Yeah, I think they're wise to just take what they can from this one, and it's going to be a death as Globby eats a bullet from Pimp to end it all, and that's going to be a 4th for Dignitas. And now mousesports, have they managed to settle their economy? They must have after that, and we are going to be seeing a pile of cash on either side. I mean, Dignitas are getting close to that 1,600, 16,000 if they're not too careful. So buying up, and we are going to be seeing a well bought up both sides. I'm worried that Chris J's going to keep that scalp. He's like, okay, so you've had a go, now let me. And he's going to be keeping that scout, see if he can demonstrate his prowess on that very weapon. We've really seen some good things from him as recently as Meisterschaft. Let's see if he can do it again here up against Dig.
Chris J is incredible with this gun. Like, there's no disputing it. If you ever watched his previous games, you know, back, especially during the EPS before it became the Meisterschaft, he was just so good with it. Like, even against fully built up teams, he can make real impact. But regardless of Chris J, the T side are getting full control of Banana, and even Nico, they're just spotting out one, waiting for their little peek. MSL seems to catch all of the bullets, but Dig are now backing out. They've got mousesports to use a little bit of their arsenal, and I wonder if they're going to make maybe their way around towards quad. They do have... No, they don't have that much control, and there's a smoke still there, but MSL going to just peer in. Smoke is in place. There's a player by quad, and will Chris J come through? Backs into it. MSL predicts it. And, well, it's going a little bit back and forwards here. Still 3v3. Brilliant connections from GobB there, just standing tall, not even going to try and hide himself from it. Lovely pop flash, something we were discussing yesterday, slowing down that balcony play. But AZ just going to bulldoze his way in, and, wow, it's Pimp actually to get the shot off.
Yeah, and look at Pimp go. That's a second. He's just a turret at this point, set up at that high horse, and he's going to be picking him up now. 2 to find, and Speedy looks to be feeling pretty good about this one, as he is just going to be hanging around. As I say that, he just turns around and does some poultry massacre. Yeah, and Speedy's out of there. He's going to be running away. And that was a test for mousesports, and they did not pass. Dignitas just doing exactly what they do on B, this time on A. That brute force is a good summary. I feel like you kind of highlighted it pretty well beforehand, that they do just kind of... There's a slow, there's an air, there's a quiet kind of calm before the storm, and then in come Dignitas. They did it on B, and they've just shown us that they can do it on A too.
Yeah, and I think, to be fair though, to GobB, this was something we were actually discussing after the previous games. We were kind of like discussing the new players, who they picked up, the stars they have, and I was actually speaking to Joe, or people who, you know, obviously casted 1.6. He knows GobB pretty well from those days. He was saying, you know, mousesports in 1.6 and, you know, around those markers was so good with those pop flashes, so good at these kind of like off-the-cuff kind of plays, and you can see it in GobB's style even today. He is so good at that, and I love watching him play just for that factor. He's such a big player, but still. Big round now coming in. CTs do have enough money to actually get a full buy. There's no scouts in practice. There are M4s, and they need to stop the rod. Dignitas is starting to build up momentum here, and that molly could have hurt, but actually, Dennis is just in front of it, so MSL is going to go straight through.
He really favors this aggressive push, and it cost him his life, cost him his teammates as well, as Speedy does fall, and that's going to be a wide open B side. Chris J realizing he's got a lot of slack to try and make up. He does connect a few shots, but nothing of real worth, as we're going to be seeing the other two sides of the CT just getting hunted by Kyabu. As another round is going to go the way of Dignitas unless mousesports teleport over to B and pick up a 5k. We'll see. As I think he can take this risk, and I don't think GobB's going to let him. As oh, he does. He gets Chris and backs away. This is stupid. As the flash is going to come out, and finally, Kyabu is going to be taken down. But it's mousesports once again on the back foot, and another sixth, sorry, for Dignitas.
And Dig is starting to look at Pimp. He knows.
He wants it as well. This is so reminiscent of Envious on this very map. Getting so kind of antsy, looking for the push.
They're all there. They're all hunting them as well. GobB's doing great, but it's more a matter of time. But he's staying alive. Oh, if only Nex could have covered him off. But no, he goes down, and Dig managed to take away all those guns. And well, look at the money. Not great for the CTs. They could probably cobble something together if they wanted to, but it wouldn't be perfect. And I think this is just kind of what we were discussing, the fact here that Mouse aren't quite a team yet. There's still that kind of mix element. They're still very new to each other. And we're not really seeing them play as a collective just yet.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost obvious in their icons alone. The two guys who've been to events before, played together, is going to be GobB and Chris J, and the others, obviously that trio from Penta that have now moved over to mousesports, are still settling and trying to find their place in the mousesports world. Either way, though, Spiddy's going aggressive on Banana, no change there, but Dennis is going to actually draw blood. MSL goes down, and that's important. That's not something we've seen too often from him, as it has usually been going the other way. Now Nico, who's doing great work with the AWP, even in the game against Fnatic, going to do just that. That's next now down, and that's going to be a 4v4 situation starting to make an appearance, was what I was trying to say.
Words are hard, don't
Words
worry
are hard.
about
Oh dear, it's not like I do it for a living. Either way, Spiddy, what have you got for us? He's pushed up towards Banana, but he is white as a white Christmas, and he's going to be going down as Kirby picks that one up. And now 3 CTs remain. Where can they go from that? There's going to be a big stack. It feels like it's an all too familiar story of 3 members from Mouse having to rotate to B.
Yeah, just like the ones they used to know. Dennis, they're so aware of this now. Time and time again, they have to deal with this. And once again, they go to pit. And, well, there's no dreaming into this one. Dennis is going to have to try and get away and save that M4. And everyone's just going to be on the save here. mousesports are just kind of getting ran over by Dignitas.
Have Dignitas got their hunting boots on, though? That's the question. I don't think they're going to be taking that risk this time. They know there's 3 CTs remaining, or at least they're kind of starting.
Pimp likes doing this.
I think Pimp's kind of got the idea. He's like, okay, it's too quiet. They're saving. Let's go.
He's a pretty aggressive fellow. And
got his deer stalker on.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. He does seem to like going out and hunting for these guys. And hey, you can't blame him. It's been working. You can see the economy the mousesports haven't been to work with. It's been absolutely dire. So, yeah, I've got to say, it's going to be very difficult now for mousesports to really get these comfortable buys in. You know, they're still okay for this one, but then going forward, you know, every round's a struggle because they are 1-7.
Yeah, they most definitely are. And kind of a really, really impressive T-side here on Inferno for Dignitas. We've seen some strong T-side Infernos from other Danes as well, and Dignitas showing no signs of stopping at this point as the Argot starting to consolidate their push towards this middle area. You can see a big stack of them, 3 of them in fact, making their way towards next position. Chris J already has drawn blood though. That's Nico down and the AWP neutralized as the push is looking to continue.
See where it's going to go. Nice smoke towards CT Arch. Chris J, though, takes that as the opportunity to peek. Doesn't get that chance. Has to adjust. While all this happens, MSL is edging forward. This man just loves walking through smoke. He just takes it in his stride. And now Molly's out Chris J. Chris J going to have to go and commit through it. Oh, Chris J! He gets the no-scope, but just sacrificing himself for it.
Wow, barbecue Chris J, as we're going to be seeing now too. T's hungry for that 8th round. They're going to get a step towards it. Kirby picks it up. Bomb's going to be going down now. Dennis and Spiddy, 2 of the new additions, looking to make their position justified as he's trying to do something. Pimp says no, though, and all onto Spiddy. He's only got 40 points of health, and 2 Dignitas members remain. They're going to be kind of spreading themselves out, trying to create a crossfire, and they seem to have a good idea of where he's going to be coming from. As Pimp is going to cast his eyes towards Quad. It's an easy one, as another man bites the dust, and another round is picked up by Dignitas.
Dig are just looking so strong right now.
Yeah,
there's no way to put it. It's just like they're just steamrolling in at the moment. It's just round after round. Okay, you know, this is where they're playing. All right, let's just be clinical about it. And I don't know. It's like this is the big question for me now: is when do we start actually questioning Mouse, right? Because this is 2 days in a row, and you don't expect anything yet, right? Nothing yet. But where's that cutoff point where we go, okay, Mouse, you got to now show the goods. You're in the big boy league. You got to step up and prove this. And well, they're going to try and pull something together here by making a play down Banana, but, well, it's been split in half by AZ and MSL. Just demolished. Yeah, mousesports evaporate into the Banana area, and Dignitas continuing this T-side domination. Mousesports, you're right. I think at this point it does feel very, very almost like stark contrast to a normal God B side. Normally there's a whole lot of coordination, there's a lot of communication going on mid-round. You can usually see a lot of kind of swift rotates, really easy to understand where either side is going, and I don't think that exists just yet. Of course, you know, when you have 3 player change, there's going to be that kind of growth period where you need to kind of resettle, but mousesports are not showing too many glimmers of hope in this game as Dignitas continue on their rampage. They are taking the bomb, and in the majority of their team through the apartment area, and Nex is in prime position to receive them. He certainly is. Nex actually saw them as well, so this is perfect. Information being gathered, and I don't think Dig knew that they saw him, so he's going to get himself up on the balcony. Good flash comes in, and well, actually not good enough. Nex does do the damage, finally goes down to MSL, but look at the pushing power from Dig. Back-to-back kills come into place, the crossfire gets demolished, and there we go. Bomb's going to go down. Chris J and Spiddy nowhere near the site.
Oh my lord. I swear every time I look at that overview, as soon as the bomb goes down, there's just 2 CTs on the other side of the map. mousesports have been having real trouble with their rotations, and I mean, this is such a stark contrast to the Fnatic side when we saw them on CT, where it felt like wherever that bomb was down, there were 4 members of Fnatic ready. So, you know, you really are seeing 2 opposite sides of the coin at this point. As the 3 Ts from Dignitas just holding their perimeter. As it feels like every time this happens, they're starting to get more and more accustomed to going on the hunt, realizing that mousesports aren't going to be going for that retake, as they just don't feel like capable of taking that risk. And I mean, I wouldn't either. As it's going to be Dignitas with the 10th now. Is there 11th? Hang on a second. It was the 10th. I questioned myself. I doubted myself. I saw it happen to Lee yesterday. I was like, oh no, it's going to happen to me. Either way, it is going to close out with 10-1. It's a very, very convincing first half from Dignitas, and it's going to be a question of how many can mousesports pick up in this first half.
And that's it. Can they get away with anything? Is there any silver lining here for them?
14-1 half would be demoralizing.
It would be, considering, you know, they make these big changes and then these are the first results.
What do they have to show for it? Yeah.
Exactly. Like, no one expects them to come in and do, like, you know, wondrous things and become a team that can, you know, beat the best, but you've got to at least be able to compete, right? Well, that's a good start. Spitty there with a double, taking down AZ and MSL. Maybe, you know, MSL and AZ getting a little bit lax in on the peak, just kind of like freely feeling more confident. Finally seeing a little bit more passive play out of mousesports, slowing it down on the B side, playing it a little bit deeper, and that's not a bad thing. Yeah, and when your numbers are scattered on T side Inferno, it's going to be difficult to cobble something together. We'll see. They are starting towards that banana area. Maybe start looking to lock out this 2 CT hold of B. One is low though, Spitty, only 13 points of health, and he's going to be doing his best to play the fountain area. Bullet's getting put out. Bullet, ooh, whistles past his ear. Who is that? It's going to be Dennis, who's trying to keep it safe and sound. The Penta boys trying to bring that B hold that they had on Penta over to mousesports, and the nades are going to start raining in. They want to try and make this push now, and Molly is going to be tinkling his toes. He's going for it though. Nico's coming in, and Dennis is ready. Well, let's see how ready he is, and well, there we go. Finally, they deliver. Spitty and Dennis coming up, fighting that synergy. Spitty actually picking up 4 that round as well. Very impressive stuff, and that's what we want to see more of. Just kind of like standard play. They don't need to be that aggressive banana all the time. When they fell back a little, played it more standardly, it actually worked out.
Yeah, and I mean, the question that you have to raise there is, yes, Speedy didn't kind of go on his Rambo rampage to Banana that time, but was the Dignitas expecting that so much that they kind of caught them off? I think that's probably more of a chance of that this time, though. Nico going aggressive at mid. That pop flash completely disabling the early mid control that the CTs were hungry for. Chris J is going to back away from that one and end up just holding that CT arch side. T's looking to make a push, and this could go horribly wrong. It does. The perfect pop flash caught Chris J with his pants around his ankles as Kyobu gets another one. They're starting to fall already. 3 CTs remain, and 2 of them are all the way over on B. But Gobby is trying to demonstrate why he is a CS legend. He does go down. Picked up 2 though, and now it is going to be a 2v2. And this one is a necessary round for Mouse.
This has to be dealt with. They have to get in here. They're in a good spot this time. Not the standard play they've been coming into, but Dennis and Spitty working their way through the apartments. Dennis going to actually go up there, and I think Spitty's just going to split, but will they expect AZ? AZ's just tucked into the corner. Oh, and he takes the angle. Nico comes in, and Dig just kind of destroy any hope that maybe mousesports had built up there.
Yeah, it was crucial, and they did not manage to come back with much, if anything. It's going to be 11-2 now on the half, and one more round to go before we do see this one. No, my maths is bad. Come on, Alex. 2 plus 11. You can do this. So
what is it? What is 2 plus 11?
It's actually 96, I think.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Never do math on air. It never makes anyone look good. There's literally like, no, it can never go well.
Jason's quite good at it. Credit to him.
Yeah,
he's the mental mathematician of the office.
Yeah, don't ever try and pretend that I'm going to be that person to help you, because I literally can count a potato. But still, the push-up banana has given early control towards the T side. Dennis this time does have the AWP, so a bit of a switch-up. I think they've already heard that a couple of times, so they're aware it's in play. And Chris J again with the shotgun. I'm not sure how I feel about that.
I like the name of the skin.
It's really nice, isn't it? It looks quite pretty.
Bone Machine. Top name.
Anyway, Dignitas lining up on the B side.
Lauren's got the giggles.
I do. It's that Bone Machine. Anyway. The execute going to be put into place. Deep smoke actually coming out.
Super deep. That's going to almost give him
that's going to do.
a bit of
Yeah, Dennis now has an opportunity. Takes down one, and look who's waiting in the corner. Still one player on site. Spitty gets attacked, but the bomb goes down right under his nose. Will he go straight in for the defuse? He's slowing down, he's playing quietly. Already Dennis gets found though. Spitty, he's still here. I think they know someone's still on the side, but he's right amongst them. He's in just enemy territory right now, behind enemy lines, sneaking his way in. Chris J bursts in, and now it's just AZ. That was insane. Chris J once again dying to a molly though. AZ 1v2. Time is ticking. Oh my god, he's gonna hop up. I don't know if they predict it. They don't. AZ gets one, and the time is too short. He's bought the time. AZ, what a performance.
That's one I want to see on back. The bomb does explode as his corpse litters the battlefield, but another round for Dignitas. And it just seems to me they get mega lost. Like, I mean, it has to be said, every single time mousesports start trying to defend a site, the smokes come in and they just seem chaotic. They seem really scrambled. Yeah. And, I mean, Dignitas taking full advantage of that.
Oh, yeah, they are just kind of running them ragged almost here. And mousesports just, every time they seem to get a little close, they're just kind of like dealt with. And Dig just having their way with them. I don't know what else to say here. And look at the confidence. They're going straight in. They were going to test that. Finally, the smoke comes out. Slows Dig down a little. But they're down to 5-7s. And now Dig know that.
Yeah. They're well and truly aware of how the mousesports economy is looking. And, I mean, they have got their nades. It's going to be starting to rain out now, trying to delay this offensive that Dignitas are starting to piece together. And bomb is loose. There's no sort of commitment towards the safe side just yet, but they are going to be looking for picks, and Next isn't going to give it to him easily, as AZ has already opened up onto Spitty. 4 players remain now on this shoddy bought CT side. Flash coming out there is going to catch up Kiebu, but there's 3 men there to back him up, or 2, sorry. Maths is hard, as AZ and Kiebu are just going to start picking up frags, and Gobby and Dennis just realise this is going all too familiarly. Doing something with a 5-7. He's caught on either side, but he managed to take 2 with him. Not bad from God-B, as this is looking more and more like another Dignitas round. Dennis, with a mountain in front of him, just, I don't know, what's his play here? Last round, some sort of dream of a 1v3 5-7. As Dignitas are just going to catch him out, most definitely. It's easy to sweep that one under the rug and bring 13-2 home on the half.
Yeah, and while the game decides to just take a breather itself, we can come back to us.
That's how exciting it is.
It is. It's thrilling. But I think we've kind of expected this, though, because, let's be honest, mousesports are still this team in kind of flux, right? So if they can every now and then prove they're pretty good at stuff and, they can cobble something together, great. But then again, I wanted to see more from them on the CT side, because these players know how to play these sides. It's not like they've suddenly, brand new to CSGO and how to play B. Okay, yeah, the role may have changed a little. Okay, they're not in the same positions or playing the same way, but they should still be a little more competent almost. I don't want to sound really harsh,
you're touching on a good point there.
I want to see more from them, even because on Inferno I feel that, okay, so the rotates may not be perfect. They may not be able to stack the correct site every single time, right? Yeah. So you're not going to have that perfect synergy like you see Fnatic have, where it's like you'll never get that overmatch. They'll always seemingly have like 3 players ready and waiting, but they haven't even had that stopping power.
No, I think that's a really good point, because, I mean, if you're ever going to succeed on a side as a mix, as a scrim, you'd think, especially on Inferno, that you kind of have your CT spots, you have your CT communications.
Correct, right.
T-side, there's a whole lot more going on where it comes to trying to find those openers. There's a lot more synergy you usually require. And so you've made a good point there that when you're struggling on CT, God knows how that T-side's going to go. But let's go back to that point that I made before this game even started about the mousesports Dignitas matchup. We saw Dignitas, of course, just a moment ago competing up against Fnatic. That didn't go their way. It was 16-8. That one ended up. And then Fnatic, of course, no, excuse me, the day before, we saw them up against Titan, besting them. So Dignitas, on the scale of teams...
Hey, they're doing okay.
Yeah, so not struggling against mousesports. Thankfully, that's good for them.
That's a good sign.
That's a good sign.
Yeah.
Beating Titan, good sign, albeit not a necessarily fully fresh and ready Titan, but regardless, beating Titan.
Good enough, yeah.
Yeah, and so then it's not looking too shabby. Of course, you wouldn't expect them to be besting Fnatic just yet, but it's a good stepping stone for them, and they're looking to be finding their way at this point.
I think I'm perfectly with you on that. I think that's a really well put phrase. I want to see them maybe against someone that I'd say equal to them as a team now. I'd like to see maybe
Can I push you for a name?
Maybe down the line. But I think
Titan, I'd have said, would have been it, but...
Maybe. But I think the game's just about started up here. So I'll come back to that point when I have a little think. But we are seeing like a little fake towards A. But there's the commitment, the B push. They kind of push up mid to try and get someone to get angsty on B to try and gain control, and then they start playing up. It's kind of that 3-2 split that I've tried to make you learn on Inferno T side.
Slowly.
And it works. These guys are doing nicely. This is quite a standard thing, though. This is nothing new. mousesports playing a tactic that works, and they've actually rotated back. This is very nice, kind of active in-game leading. Now Pimp's at a huge disadvantage, gets overwhelmed, and mousesports actually showing some really good choices in play here.
And we were sitting there like, oh, T-side's much more difficult. They just slap us in the face with this pistol round. Really effective play from mousesports, as now AZ is left with an insurmountable task. Gobby ensures that it is a neat one, as that's going to be the, it feels weird to say, the third round for mousesports here on the first round of the second half, here in the second game of the day, the final game of the day for the ESL ESEA Pro League. Didn't make a mistake. Take a bow, Alex. I will. Let's just see how this one shapes up. We're seeing the Julies coming out. Pimp looking to do something Matrix style. As I mean, a quick glimpse of the scoreboard. I actually just saw AZ on 19 frags, so he's certainly been dispatching of mousesports with confidence.
AZ's been so good throughout all of their games, pretty much. Like, I don't think I've seen him have a really bad one. Like, okay, against Fnatic they weren't fantastic, but individually he was still good. And I think that's AZ to a T. He's a great performer, and I can't wait to see how much he can achieve later in this tournament. But still, the Mac Daddy, back with Chris J. I love the Mac 10. This was something I remember talking to Sponge about from Vox. He was like one of the players who originally picked this up, especially on their Dust 2 plays. He was like, well, it costs nothing. I get some good money for it. And if you get close enough to their face, it rips them apart. And it was like, I bet soon, you know, more people would do it. And then the patches came in, and, you know, obviously Sponge had his day.
600 for a kill is, I mean, you get 2 kills, right? You're rich. As for now, I think that's going to be in trouble. Takes a big chunk, though, out of Chris J with the 5-7, just spraying through the smoke. As we've seen a heavy investment from mousesports. None of that shoddy buy that we saw just a half ago. They are going to be going straight for the 3 AKs and the double SMGs to back them up.
I guess they kind of have to. Look in that scoreline. They can't risk it going wrong. But I like this play from MSL. I like seeing this sort of stuff when they sit just on the verge of the smoke, so they kind of get that first initial glimpse where the others are adjusting. He's actually going to burst through. All right, MSL, I know you like going through smokes, but maybe a little bit too far.
He's got an addiction now.
He does. He's got a problem. But still, no one else on B. They've broken through. There was not maybe, I wouldn't say 4 players stacked, but there were certainly 4 players closer towards the A site. And, well, they're just not in the right place at the right time. They do have armor, so they might just save that.
Yeah, they're going to keep that armor safe for them, and they've got, of course, that nice cushion of that 13 rounds secured already. Needing just 3 to bring this one to a close. Maths, I smashed it. Either way, though.
Proud of you.
Yeah, thank you. Dignitas are very close to this one, not opting to invest, of course. Sorry, not looking to lose their investment, is what I was trying to say, with those 4 CTs still standing. Going to save that all up. And, I mean, MSL really does favor pushing through that smoke. He sees a smoke and he just goes for it.
I guess if you catch people off, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
I remember it becoming, you know, the pop, obviously pop flashing through smokes there, but he's like doing it without it. He's just like straight in.
Intel.
I don't know. I call him like D.Intel MSL now in his name. You know what I mean? Like, it makes sense.
That's what he's all for.
Exactly, all that intel gathered. But still, 4 rounds for mousesports. Long road back though. That was dramatic. Just a hit of dramatic.
We had a hint of drama yesterday. We're going to have it again today as Dignitas not opting to invest anything into this round. Of course, they can't quite afford it. And here they come again. Look at that.
They've stacked 4 players on B, though, Dig, this time. They're trying to maybe make MSL go a little bit more aggressive then, make noise, and trying to give maybe the impression there's more there than just one. Now, obviously, Mouse aren't going to just fall for that, but if there's another, you know, example of them reading into it, if they, you know, Dig can draw them towards that, that'd be perfect. But it looks like mousesports are reading this well. They're kind of collecting themselves towards the B site where only MSL stands. AZ's actually beginning to rotate as well. They know what's coming. MSL spotted it. MSL does go down, but AZ is very close by. Maybe he's going to do the MSL thing right now.
Is he going to take a leaf out of his teammate's book? He is just strolling through the smoke. And there is going to be a few to find. Mouse has already done something as it was next to take the frag. Gobby shows us how it's done with the MP7 as it's all going to go horribly wrong. And Pimp just backing away with his Julies as he's going to be hunted down by Spiddy as mousesports looking to not make this an easy cleanup for Dignitas. This is going to be AK versus Jewel Beretta. It's not going to happen as Spiddy just fires that final bullet to close that round out. And mousesports slowly but surely, he's climbing that mountain laying in front of them.
If they can keep this up, why not? They've been mostly hitting the B site.
Yeah.
And it's been working. However, now they're going to have a brought-up team against them. Now there's a little bit more to kind of get in their path. There's smokes, there's flashes, there's nades. There's a lot of utility that hopefully the likes of MSL don't walk through and actually just put into practice and put into play. So we are seeing that deep smoke to Banana coming through again. That's going to be put into place, allowing MSL and AZ a little bit of early control.
What I was going to say was a distinct lack of head armor, just realizing it's not going to be necessary against those AKs. As MSL gets an easy one on through Dennis. Don't think we yet necessarily saw him though, just using obviously the Master of Smoke MSL. Maybe that's what the S in MSL stands for. Master Smoke
Lover.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've discovered MSL's name. There you go. The genesis of his name. As we're going to be seeing Nex and Speedy walk straight on into the crosshairs of Pimp. Not going to miss that shot, but Chris J elsewhere on the map does get some sort of step in the right direction.
But look at this rotate. Nico's heading over towards B. Christian and God B are going around towards A. Now, Spitty had already got himself in a good spot here into the apps. So they know they've got a little bit of control. And I think Nico's just about like, I'm not sure where to go here. This is a horrible predicament. You can see him on the minimap just in Speedway like, I don't want to commit anywhere. I can maybe hold this deep. I don't know.
Scared of
But
commitment.
there's 30 seconds left. And he's going to have to commit. He's going to be forced into it. Because Dig are down to 2 players here. One in pit, one by quad, and mousesports are going to start going. There's that utility they've got here, but look at that, the stopping power coming out of pit, just perfectly placed. Pimp gets one, and hell, they don't even need Nico on this site yet, as Godby is the last man standing, gets himself out. Maybe he can do something with this. Maybe not. Maybe not.
That's going to be Dignitas' first round of the half coming up, as they're going to put 14 on the board. 2 to find for the Danish side. And mousesports, they are going to be, this is going to be another testing round for them. They managed to pick up a couple, but there was all the shoddy buys of Dignitas. Now they failed their first test. Can they pass the second? As it's going to be vital to stave off that 15 mark.
It is. This time they do have mollies with them, so a little bit more to work with. Maybe that'll help out, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I like the way Dig are playing. It's nothing game-changing. It's nothing brand new. But it works. And MSL gets himself in just a brilliant spot here. If Dennis keeps going, he could be in trouble. And actually, MSL is out. The smoke is not there anymore. MSL is surrounded. He's just going to be... Oh my god, just ragdolled around the place. But Chris J is just broken open the site. He spots maybe 1 or 2 on the cross. And he's just single-handedly going for this one. He's not done just yet, and Nico could be in trouble.
Yeah, it looks like Dignitas are in trouble as another man falls. It was Kiebu elsewhere towards A. Now Nico and Pimp remain. What a shot as he connects through smoke. Chris J going to be kicking himself about that one as now 3 Ts remain, and they are going to be on a little bit of a sprint towards the opposite site. 2 CTs still holding through. As mousesports, they have made good tracks. They're going to be catching Dignitas a little bit off guard here as the bomb is going to be going down shortly. I think Nex is kind of a little too concerned about the presence, the potential presence around that pit area. And all this is doing is this just giving them time to rotate?
Maybe just not being aware of where Dig have been playing, considering Pimp's generally being at quad. Maybe that's what they expected him to be around pit, possibly. But the other player, Kirby, I think it is, was actually playing pit itself. So him being down, I'm surprised they took so long to actually kind of execute that. But just making sure, and this should be their round. The CTs are going to go and just split themselves apart.
Hang out in the
chill out. Yeah.
This corner is so popular for saves. I've seen like it's just every time I'm on the hunt. That I swear to God, that is the magical
Silver 2 matchmaking.
Well, I mean, not yet. I'm not climbing that ladder.
Sorry.
Come on now.
Yeah.
That's not fair.
I'm joking.
Yeah,
you're a wonderful rank, I promise.
It is going to be a 2 for 2. As that one's 2 CTs managed to maintain their weapons. Dignitas, look at that scoreboard again. AZ just flying ahead of his teammates. Everyone else sitting around that double figures. I think there's only like 1 frag that separates at the top and bottom. AZ excluded.
Yeah.
And now we're going to be seeing, again, that Molotov buy from mousesports. And it's been said time and time again how effective mollies are in aiding your attack. You can really, like, a B push without mollies, not so easy. A B push with, and you've got a whole lot of clear spots.
And look, already investing that molly into the position where MSL was just a couple of moments ago. So the fear of a position itself going to create that sort of void. But, oh my god, this aggression coming out from KB. He's in T-apps. He's off. He's done it once. He's only got a pistol. He doesn't care. He might be able to catch someone out here. He's going to force Godbeat back, buy time for the rest of his team to readjust. That's pretty intelligent play coming out from him.
Always expecting good things from the Dig boys, as now they do not have pretty much anything. Nico just, of course, with that M4 from before. As Kievu has managed to make it in his hands. Not going to be able to do anything with it, though. Speedy, too speedy, potentially, as he's going to be seeing now just 3 CTs remain. I'm sorry, that's going to leave a bad taste in your mouth, Lauren. that was cheesy, as it is going to be just the remaining CTs. And oh, that's a shot and a half. MSL gets one, not going to get a second. The bomb's loose.
And AZ's in a good position here, actually. AZ's kind of like behind them, in maybe where they don't expect him just yet. He was in those apps. And let's see if he can get a glimpse. If MSL can stay alive, bait it out. Oh, he doesn't make it out of the corner, but they had to commit for it. And Nico's there now, so the backups arrived. And AZ, if he gets this shot, it would be absolutely massive. He does. That's a bomb down. Now he knows they're in apps. Another tag comes in. Oh, AZ! Beautiful play. And now just got B alive. He's going to have to somehow bring this into a manageable term. AZ's there, Nico's there. Oh my god, don't you dare. AZ makes noise, and AZ finds him! That's unbelievable stuff from Dignitas. AZ, you're an absolute hero.
He's been at the top of the scoreboard for the entire game, and he just picks up 3 with just a P250. And that is a well-justified 15th round for the Danish side. That's going to put them in good stead for this game, as mousesports crumbling under the foot of an eco-bought CT side. And now, what can they do to stave off this 16th? Just 1 round away now from confirming that victory here at the ESL ESEA Pro League. I'm taking this challenge, Lauren.
You
haven't said it once.
You're winning. No, I don't play that game. But still, look at the confidence with Dig now as well. They're taking control of apps straight away. They're starting to challenge. Next, already, I think, spotting out 1 in the apartment, so getting a little bit of info there. But still, Dig are all over this map, and mousesports are being pushed back. Nico finding Spitty. Perfect start.
That's exactly how you need to start it. Taking down that opening frag, that entry frag. We've seen Speedy do it before. Not going to happen this time. Yeah. As Nico is going to be looking to delay any sort of presence in the apps area. Has got just a corner, just a slither to catch a glimpse of anyone if they choose to peek. But elsewhere on the map, AZ's opened up onto Banana, looking to peel down the T side as MSL gets another. As they are just getting these revenge frags. Something that Dignitas are doing that Mouse aren't at this point. And now the 2 remaining T side, Nex and Gobby, trying to keep the hopes of mousesports' victory here on Inferno alive. And it's not looking likely, as they are going to be putting smoke out, obscuring Pimp's vision. And they're going to be walking straight into the clutches of 2 of these members. They're diving straight in towards him. It's going to be a double to end it. Pimp puts on his crown, and they end it with a smile on their face and a very concise victory there from Dignitas.
That was just dominating.
It was.
From start to finish, what can you say? Mousesports, okay, they built up a couple of rounds here or there,
yeah,
but nothing they could kind of push back to back. It never felt consistent. It never felt like they could replicate the same thing twice. You okay there?
Losing my notes. Whoops.
No, losing your mind. It's all right. But still, yeah, all in all, Dig substantially better than mousesports right now. Mousesports need that time to adjust. They've had a bit of a hectic schedule to begin with, so not seeing what they can do maybe with that week to get into it, with 2 weeks of practice, and then a couple of months down the line, can they then perform as a top tier team? Considering these guys want to challenge as, putting German teams back on the map as a top tier, right? They're not there yet, and they've still got a long way to go to even get close to that.
I think that's a good summary. You've kind of put it. I mean, it's less of a case of how mousesports performed and more so of Dignitas. They're looking good. We've said it before, and just that closing point on Dignitas is now seeing these guys. We've seen 3 different results from them already, just 2 days into this one, and it seems to be promising. Is the final word for that one. And that's actually going to be concluding the EU side of things for us this evening. We're going to, of course, not be alone. We do have those final results for you. If you did just miss it, the VODs will be uploaded to both our Twitch and YouTube, which you'll be able to find over at youtube.com/ESL. But it's not over just yet, Lauren.
No, there is the NA side of things to kick off later on this evening. You can see the times there, hopefully adjusted for yourselves. And to take you through some of the games, or at least some of the highlights that I'm looking forward to, we have Ace up against Tempo, first of all. And this is the time for Ace to finally get that performance.
And for Mo to get more than one
Exactly. It's on Dust 2. It's the map that any team should be able to play to a degree. That's where they need to shine. Following that, you got Team Liquid up against Mousespaz. once again, Liquid need to find their performance. They've been a hit and miss team. A lot of, backing to them, some big names. They need to get the results to support that.
Yeah, I mean, you really, really do. When you're seeing already Luminosity looking strong with these new changes, with that EU presence, you need to justify.
Certainly.
You need to justify your position in the NA scene. Team Liquid have had some lackluster results offline and online recently. So, 2 performances later today to really kind of maybe demonstrate where they're going to stand.
Yeah, and then following on from that, we get to see CLG once again. See what impact they can have on Inferno there, coming up against Synergy. And it's all about that team synergy, isn't it? I hate to say it, but, what can CLG do? Can they keep that consistency up? Will Tarek have one of those outstanding games again? Who knows? But then to finish off, Cloud9 against Liquid, another good one to see. You get to see Cloud9 in action. Some really great content actually put up. I've got to say it. I think it's Heather, who's actually working for ESEA currently, has done a wonderful breakdown of all the NA games. So if you want more information, you can head over there, but also tune into the broadcast later, right? Yeah,
do be sure to head over to the broadcast that will, of course, be hosted on this channel as well as for the ESEA channel, which is twitch.tv/ESEA. Other than that, though, do go over to the pro.eslgaming/CSGO. That'll be in the chat as well for you to click, because I know everybody is incredibly lazy, but do be sure to get over there. And you can let us know your thoughts with the voting system that's in place. You can see where you see things shaping up. And do let us know on Twitter as well. Our personal social medias are @MachiningTV and @TheyCallMePansy. I got that right.
Nailed it.
And for us at ESL as well, it's @ESLCS. That's all of the plugs done. And that's also what you're going to expect to see over at the NA side of things later this evening. But I think that's all from us this evening.
Pretty much. I think we've had 2 very good games. I wish there was more, but still, we got to see how good Fnatic are. We got to maybe find out where in the ranking Dignitas are starting to sit towards. So all in all, a really good play day.
Yeah, and we saw how good Fnatic were. We also saw how good Flush's calls were, as he was the man making
shots,
calling the shots, sorry, over on Dust.
He was also making the shots.
He was making the shots.
So
Bingo.
a little bit of A and B.
Thank you. You got my back. Either way, though, that does conclude this evening's CSGO and concludes it from us here at the studio. We'll see you next time for more CSGO.